Greetings of the day. I am Miss Rohini Jain, Assistant Professor, Department of Education at Lingia's Lalita Devi Institute of Management and Sciences, affiliated to IP University. Welcome to today's session. Today we will discuss the topic Basic Concepts of Social Psychology, which is an important topic as part of your course title Human Growth, Behavior and Counseling with the course code BSW 124. Dear learners, let us first of all briefly outline the objectives of this unit. In earlier units of your course, you have gone through some of the important basic concepts relevant for understanding human behavior. In this unit, we will present to you a general introduction to the basic concepts of social psychology. After completing this unit, you will all be able to understand the following aspects. First, the nature and scope of social psychology. Next, leadership and role of a leader in a group. Crowd and its characteristics would be the next part. Next, mob and mob psychology. Next will be public opinion, its impact and relevance to the society. Next will be propaganda, methods and implications. And lastly, we shall be outlining the relevance and importance of social psychology for all social workers. Let us briefly introduce our topic. Dear learners, social psychology scientifically studies how people act, think, and feel in the context of society. It considers how people's behaviors, their thoughts, and their feelings can always change because of other people. Social psychologists are mainly concerned with understanding the wide range of conditions and circumstances which will shape the social behavior and thought of individuals, their actions, their feelings, their beliefs, memories, and influences with respect to other persons in different social setups or settings. Further, dear learners, it has been seen that there are a large number of different factors which play an important role in this regard. Factors influencing and which are responsible for social interaction and behavior may be either biological or they may be cognitive or they can be ecological or cultural characteristics and behavior patterns of other people. Social psychologists often study all of these aspects carefully with the help of different tools and techniques of modern scientific research methodology. Also, social psychologists always draw inferences from their findings and they always put this knowledge to develop theories pertaining to them. Let us now come to the definition, nature, and scope of social psychology. In order to understand the relevance and importance of social psychology for social workers, dear learners, one should know what is the nature and scope of social psychology. Social psychology has been defined by different social psychologists, and their definitions always help in clarifying its nature and scope. Let us go through some of the important definitions of social psychology. The first one, dear learners, social psychology may be broadly defined as a science of the behavior of the individual in any given society. This definition has been given by Kretsch D. and Richard Cutchfield. Another definition, let us have a look. This definition has been given by Otto Kleinberg, and he says that the primary concern of sociology is group behavior, and that of social psychology is the behavior of the individual in the group situation. So, here the important point is behavior of the individual in the group situation. Let us go ahead, dear learners. Another concept put ahead by Robert Barons and Don Byrne. They say that social psychology is the scientific field which seeks to understand the nature and causes of individual behavior and thoughts in social situations or in a given social setup. So, here the importance is, the key point is nature and causes of individual behavior and thoughts. Coming to the fourth definition given by G.W. Allport, who has been a very important name in the area of social psychology. He says that social psychology is the scientific study of the influence process. It attempts to understand, explain, and predict how the presence of another person, a group of people, as well as how the environmental factors influence a person's thoughts and influence the behavior of that person. Further, moving ahead, social psychology is also the study of persons in their interactions with one another with reference to the effects of this interplay or interaction on the individual's thoughts, on his feelings, on his emotions, and also on his habits. Social psychology is concerned with the ways in which a person's conduct and his dispositions are influenced by the conduct and dispositions of the other people in his surrounding environment. This is an important aspect, dear learners. Also, coming to the next point, social psychology is a branch of psychology which aims at understanding one's thinking and interaction with others. It describes factors which shape and also which formulate the actions and thoughts of individuals within different social settings. Further, it is also said that social psychologists are mainly concerned with understanding the wide range of situations which structure the social behavior and thoughts of individuals. This aspect covers an array of features such as their actions, their feelings, habits, memories, and influence with respect to other persons around them. A number of different factors, dear learners, has been seen to play a vital role in this regard. Let us now see certain important factors which affect social interaction. All these factors affecting social interaction, for simplicity, have been divided into 5 categories. First, the actions and characteristics of others. What others say and what they do. Second, basic cognitive processes. Cognition, as you all know, dear learners, is a basic functioning of the mind. So, basic cognitive processes such as memory and reasoning, which underline our thoughts, ideas, and judgments about other people around us. These all are included under basic cognitive processes. The third factor has been called as ecological variables. Variables meaning factors. These include direct and indirect influences of the physical environment, such as temperature, privacy, crowding, and related factors. The fourth aspect is the cultural context in which social behavior and thought occurs. And the last fifth category or the fifth factor, these are called as biological factors. These factors and processes that are relevant to social behavior, including certain aspects of our genetic inheritance. That means, as the name is self explanatory, these factors will be those which we inherit from our previous generations. That means they have to do with the genes and the genetic inheritance. Coming to actions and characteristic of others, we will take up one by one all these 5 categories in details now. Dear learners, you will find that these actions of other people have a definite impact on your thought and behavior, and therefore it is a truth that quite often we feel affected by the actions of other people around us. We are also quite often influenced by the visible characteristics and appearance of others. In our daily life, if you can just take a moment to recall how you will see in your group of people how the appearance of others, it sort of influences you. You will find that there are certain characteristics of people which catch your attention a little more than the others. Second, coming to the second category, this is cognitive processes. Here, dear learners, what is important to note is that cognitive processes like memory, inference, judgment, decision making, etc., all of these should be carefully considered in order to understand aspects of social behavior. When we say this, what do we mean? For example, we feel irritated when a friend comes late, and then after that they say only sorry for it. But if this friend who has come late also explains the reason for coming late, then we become less annoyed and we cool down. If he is a habitual latecomer, we may not believe his explanation. But if the friend comes late for the first time, we readily accept his explanation. So, as you can see from this example, your reaction in this situation is dependent on your memory. Memory of what, learners? Your memory pertaining to your friend's past behavior. And it involves your inferences concerning the explanation. So all such factors, they are clubbed together and put under the category cognitive processes. Next, we come to the third category of factors, learners. These we have called as ecological variables and physical environment. Ecological variables and physical environment, they have also shown to have an influence on our thoughts and behaviors. Studies show that in full moonlight, people are more prone to be wild and impulsive than at other times. We all have seen how different astrologers, they also predict that according to the moon and the positioning of the moon, certain people show a change in the behavior. Similarly, it is a common observance that in the hot and steamy weather, especially in the months of June, July, August, we become more aggressive and irritated. We lose our patience very easily when the weather is very hot and non conducive as compared to in a cool and comfortable weather. Similarly, going on the same lines, it has also been seen a noisy, polluted, and crowded environment impacts on our social behavior. Physical environment influences our feelings, emotions, thoughts, and behavior. So, dear learners, our physical environment, it is very essential that it should be favorable for us. Staying in an unfavorable environment can always trigger all our negative feelings and emotions. Coming to the fourth category, social and cultural norms. Social and cultural norms and taboos, that means the do's and don'ts, they strongly influence our behavior and our thought. For example, the choice of a partner for marriage, or for that matter, one's ideas on number of issues, and the expression of emotional reactions, they all depend on socio-cultural factors. Cultural factors have become more significant and important for modern social psychologists. These days, it is being taken into care that even the smallest of cultural factors, such as the religious practices, the attire, the dresses, the foods, which are all indicators of culture, all these cultural factors have to be given a very, very important place. Coming to the next fifth category, dear learners, these are called as biological processes and genetic factors. Biological processes and genetic factors, they have been shown to influence our social behavior. Many social psychologists firmly believe that our performances, our behaviors, our emotional reactions, also even our values and attitudes are influenced by our biological inheritance. Social psychologists assume that every aspect of social behavior is open to change. For example, millions of people have inherited poor vision problem, but they can correct this by the use of lenses and spectacles. Coming to a next very important topic of this chapter in your course, dear learners, this is the concept of leadership. And let us discuss also what is the role of a leader in a group. Dear learners, leadership is a social phenomena seen in one form or the other in every sphere of life. Leadership has been defined by social psychologists in various ways. Let us have a look at these. The first definition of leadership says leadership is described as a process of social influence in which a person can enlist the aid and support of others in the accomplishment of a common task. This definition was given in 1997 by M. Kemmers. In this definition, the important key terms, as you would have noted, are the process of social influence. Here, one person is influencing all the others in a social group. Let's see another definition. This has been given by Lisa Cash Hansen, who is the CEO of Snugwug. Leadership is the ability to guide others without force. Now, this is important, dear learners. Leadership is the ability to guide others without force into a direction or decision that leaves them still feeling empowered and accomplished. Here, the important key factors is that a leader always guides the others without forcing them. Another definition, this has been given by Darcy and Ken Burrs. According to them, leader is someone who has the clarity to know the right things to do, has the confidence to know when he is wrong, and the courage to do the right things even when they are very hard to do. You all have seen leaders around you, dear learners, and you can identify with this definition. A leader is a very confident person who has clarity of thought. Another definition given by Susan Asher, CEO and founder president of susanasher.com. A leader is a person who takes you where you will not go alone. Now, this is very interesting as well as important. This statement simply says that a leader leads the way. He takes you to a place where you will not go alone, but he handholds you. Along with them, they take you to that goal or target. Therefore, summarizing all these definitions, dear learners, we can say that leadership is the process of influencing the activities of the group for the achievement of set organizational targets. The group member who exerts more positive influence over the others is simply considered a leader. Any effort of a group member to influence the behavior of one or more group members is simply an attempt at leadership. The member of the group who is experienced, willing to take risk, and capable of influencing other members of the group will most likely to hence perform leadership functions. Coming to the attributes of leadership. The term leadership has three main attributes, dear learners. These are: first, an attribute of position; second, a characteristic of a person; and third, a category of behavior. Let us see the details of these three attributes. These refer to a person who possesses certain qualities, occupies a certain position, and behaves in a certain way. An individual who is in a leadership position tries to influence the group, and this group in turn allows itself to be influenced by him or her. Apart from influencing the group members, a leader always communicates with other groups on behalf of his group, and this serves as a channel of information. Leadership, dear learners, is a behavior that affects the behavior of other people more than their behavior affects that of the leader. Let us now see some common behavioral characteristics of leaders. These are listed as follows. First behavioral feature of a leader is intelligence. Dear learners, quite often a leader, whether he or she has been nominated or he or she has been elected, has been seen, it has been studied, he will be more intelligent than a common group member. So, leadership always shows the quality of intelligence. The second one is dominance. A leader always dominates over the others and influences members of the group. Third, a leader always shows the feature of adjustment. This is directly related to intelligence, dear learners. It is a common observance that those who are more intelligent find it easier to adjust to a situation coming up in their environment. So it is always seen that a leader is more capable than others in adjusting with the group which he or she is leading. Fourth characteristic or attribute is called as non-conformity. Non-conformity means not sticking to a particular type or a particular behavior or a particular mode. A leader is comparatively more independent and free of group pressures and is able to use his or her ability to take decisions without depending on others. This is very important. So, a non-conformist leader, he or she is more concerned with group solidarity than others. While expressing non-conforming ideas and behavior, it is very important to note, dear learners, that the leader always maintains the cohesiveness of the group, which means they will never let the group scatter. They will always hold the group together into one single unified unit. This is called as cohesiveness of the group. Next feature, social distance. Here we see that the leader always avoids closeness and intimacy with group members. They always keep themselves at a certain social distance. He maintains social and psychological distance from other members of the group. This is normally found in work group situation. So this kind of social distancing which the leader shows is normally found in work group situation. Coming to the next feature, this feature is called as ability to inspire others. Every leader is always seen to inspire others in the group. This is considered an innate or inherent quality, a kind of an internal charisma, as we say. This is not something that can be learned. The leader is said to be born with this feature. Some are more impressive and more charismatic in a group than the others, and such people always take up positions of leadership. Then, coming to the next feature of a leader, dear learners, this is called as problem solving capacity. The leader always has the patience as well as the ability to look at the problem from different angles. Looking at the problem from different angles gives them a better scope to resolve this problem. Since a leader has this capacity, they are very effective problem solvers and lead the way for the entire group. Next feature, emotional maturity. Emotional stability and emotional maturity are significant ingredients of an effective leadership. It has been seen, dear learners, that emotional maturity is reflected in a stable adjustment with the situations of life in general and a calm, cool, and calculated reaction to unfavorable circumstances can be shown. A leader accepts both success and failure in a balanced manner. He neither becomes too happy in success and nor feels too depressed in failure. He knows how to show a balanced approach in both the situations. The leader is a self confident, open minded, and rational person. And, dear learners, it has been seen that he or she can function very calmly even when there are differences of opinion in the group, or even at the time when there is a lot of opposition being faced. The next feature, he enjoys a balanced outlook towards life and towards the world. The leader is often seen as a warm, sensitive, and kind person without any kind of prejudice or malice or negative feeling against any of the group members. The next feature of a leader is the ability to understand human behavior. The leader understands human behavior very, very detailed and intricately. He or she understands the needs, desires, and behavior of his group members and will always respect them as individuals. He supports the emotions and feelings of the group members and obstructs their ego threatening actions. So he will always make sure that there are no ego clashes, no egos being entertained on the forefront. Next characteristic of a leader, dear learners, is called as verbal assertiveness. The leader is a good orator. They are very good at speaking. They are very good at public speaking and putting across their point of view. Being a good orator or a speaker, a leader is very confident of his views and opinions. He will always communicate his opinions honestly and in a very, very straightforward manner. The next feature or the next trait or characteristic of a leader is willingness to take risk. This feature of taking risks will not be seen equally in all members of a group. It is a good leader who will accept new challenges. He bears full responsibility for failure and he does not blame others for it. He is able to overcome frustration and defeat. Certain risks, when taken, will give positive results. On the other hand, certain risks, when taken, will not give a desired effect. The leader in such a situation does not blame anyone else in the group for it. He takes ownership, he takes full responsibility for either a negative or a failure after a risk. Next feature, dedication to organizational goals. The leader is always a person who is dedicated and committed to the objectives and goals of the organization. He makes his followers aware of the organizational mission. That means, from time to time, a leader keeps aligning all the group members as to what is it that the organization wishes to achieve. And then he motivates them to work for achieving the same. The next feature, dear learners, a leader has been always shown to have the ability to compromise, which means resolving differences is an important function of leadership. The leader achieves it by utilizing the process of compromise and consensus. With this, we come to the end of this first session of our topic, and these were few of the important roles of a leader and characteristics of leadership. I hope you have learnt well, dear learners. For now, we stop here and we will continue the remaining part of this topic in our next session. Thank you.